Hi. I didn't get much sleep last night. I watched our school board meeting, and I was watching it in part because I had two students who went to report on what it's like to attend a school board meeting. And I was very proud to see that two different students of mine were speaking to the school board. A lot of people spoke to the school board, and I found was very upsetting. And so I just wanted to take a moment. I kind of purged all my thoughts as I drank coffee early this morning, and I wrote down a lot of stuff. And so pardon me if I look at my notes, but I felt it was really important. I teach kids about finding their own voice, and I find sometimes teachers feel they don't have one. And so I guess this is my voice. First of all, I want to make it clear I am a teacher, and by no means a perfect one. I am a mom, not a perfect one. I am a partner, not a perfect one. I teach content. I teach critical thinking skills. I teach soft skills, like working in groups and how to communicate with each other. And problem solving is probably one of my biggest ones. I also teach civic duty. I teach journalism as well. And I teach about civil discourse. But most of all, what I teach are kids. I teach kids, all of them, every single one of them. And this is my 26th year of teaching. And this is what I know. Kids need to feel seen. Not just feel seen, but actually be seen. And they need to be heard. And they need to learn how to find their own voices, how to listen to each other even when they don't agree with each other, how to talk to each other even if they don't agree, how to find common purpose, but understand that their worldview is not the same as others. That's all good. That is a good thing. The kids I've taught, I'm so proud. I have kids who are in their 40s. I'm not in my 40s. But my kids have gone on to be news anchors, professors at Yale. I have one kiddo who helped broker the Paris Agreement. I have students who've gone on to become directors of communication at major universities. I have kids who are world travelers. I have kids who are construction workers, welders, plumbers, hairstylists, teachers, restaurant managers, stay-at-home parents. I taught all of them, and I keep in touch with a lot of them. Okay, I taught them the content. I taught them, mainly storytelling, because that's what all of my content has to do with. But communications, I've taught theater, I've taught American Lit, I've taught all kinds of lit. I've taught all kinds of technology, from Premiere Pro to Final Cut to Avid. I've taught Photoshop and Animate, Illustrator, a lot of stuff. But time and time again, my kids, and they are all my kids, even the ones up there in age, they're all my kids. Their strongest memories of my classroom, above all else, is that they knew they could be themselves in my classroom and feel safe. I've always strived to see them as individuals with unique talents and potential, all of them. Didn't matter if I agreed with their opinions or not. I tried to see them for who they were. Last night, the term colorblind came up quite a bit. And frankly, that really puzzles me. Students want to be seen and not overlooked. Part of being seen is recognizing that we are all defined at least in part, by the color, the rich, beautiful color of our skins. We're defined in part by our culture, our belief system, our value system, our experiences. Why should I be blind to that? Newsflash, you can see color and still treat people with respect and dignity. You don't have to be blind to it. You don't. I have a colorblind student, actually, and you know what? He can still see color, just not the same way that I do. And I think that's really cool. These kids need to be seen. And when you turn blind to them, you know, what are you telling them? Sorry, I'm still going. Students spoke last night about the importance of being seen. They spoke passionately, eloquently, and with intelligence. But most of all, they're pouring out their hearts to the school board. What they heard from the adults around them was talk about DEI and how it promotes deviance, how it promotes racism, that diversity, equity, and inclusion is, quote, an academic's wet dream. That's what those kids were listening to. They heard those adults. They heard those adults that found them offensive just for existing. One of my kids who was there messaged me, "It's so hard to be in a room full of people who are against you for being you." Do you realize that's the message you're sending these kids? It broke my heart. These kids hear you and see you, even if you were blind to them. 17 years ago this week, my 13-year-old son, my talented, unique, funny, loving, amazing son, died in an accident. And it devastated me. This was 17 years ago. And I quit teaching, and I kind of quit life for a while. And after about 2 years, I returned. And I did, and it was with one real, true thought. I wanted to be the teacher that I would always have wanted for my son. I wanted to teach my entire class the way I would always hope my child was taught. I wanted to be a teacher who not only taught that content, the critical thinking skills, how to get and keep a job. Sorry, I'm almost done. But also how to listen and learn from others, how to see people for who they are and respect them, how to find their own voices and express them with intelligence and thoughtfulness, how to question and grow, and that how learning is lifelong. And we make mistakes, and we recognize that, and we learn from those mistakes. I am so grateful to be teaching in a district that is wanting to learn and grow with the student population, that change doesn't have to be scary, that this world is changing, and we have to help these kids prepare to learn and grow within it. I'm a teacher. I teach all the kids, all of them, no matter who they are. That's what I do.